So in this video, we would take up some important concepts related to logical Venn diagrams. This chapter deals with the questions which aim at analyzing a candidate's ability to relate a certain given group of items and illustrate it diagrammatically so that you can understand the relation better and answer your questions quickly. Now we would see certain types of Venn diagrams and we would illustrate the relationships between different items. So if you have three given items which belong to three different groups and they have nothing in common, like doctors, lawyers, and engineers, now they bear no relationship with each other, three disjoint figures. So that's how they're going to be represented. There is nothing common between doctors, engineers, and lawyers. So they're going to be represented as three disjoint figures. Now let's look at the second. If one item belongs to the class of second and second belongs to the class of third, then these items can be represented as three concentric circles. So as you can see, second, minutes, and hours. So seconds is a part of minutes. So second is represented as A, minutes is represented as B, and minutes is a part of hours. So hours is represented as C. So as you can see, they're all three concentric circles, and A and B lie within the bigger circle C. Now let's look at this. There are two separate items. They belong to the class of the third. So for example, if you have table and chair, so table and chair nothing in common. They are two separate items of furniture, but they both of them are items of furniture. That is why table and chair, they are disjoint. They are separate from each other, but they lie within the bigger circle C, which is furniture, which actually indicates furniture. Next, if two items belong to the class of the third, such that some items of each of these two groups are common in relation. So as you can see, there is some overlapping portion in the two circles A and B. So these two circles are intersecting and they're enclosed within a bigger circle, and there's some common overlapping portion in these two circles. For example, if you are males, fathers, and brothers, then all fathers and all brothers are males. So C is the bigger circle which represents males. A and B are two circles which represent fathers and brothers. So some fathers could be brothers, some fathers may not be brothers. So but all of them do come in the bigger circle males. So that is why we have this A and B which have some common portion, and both of them lie within the bigger circle C, which represents males. Now let's take the next. If two items are partly related to the third, themselves independent of each other, like A and C both have something common with B, but A and C are not related to each other. So for example, if you have dogs, pets, and cats. So if you see, B is the circle which represents pets. So some dogs are pets, some cats are pets, but dogs and cats have nothing in common. That's why A and C are independent of each other. But yes, they are intersecting with B because some dogs are pets and some cats could also be pets, but there's nothing common in dogs and cats. So that is why that's how we represent to understand this better. Let's take another. Three items are partly related to each other. They are represented as, for example, if you have clerks, the government employs an educated person. So as you can see, some clerks may be government employees and some may be educated. Similarly, some government employees may be clerks and some may be educated. That applies for the third circle as well, that some educated person may be clerks and some may be government employees. So there's always a possibility. So there could be some educated people who are not government employees and not clerks. That is why there's always a portion in all the three circles which is like independent, and there is a lot of overlapping portion, and this, as you can see, is common in all the three, is the portion where the educated person is a government employee and is a clerk. So that's how you represent, where they're partly related to each other. Now let's look at this. If one item belongs to the class of the second and the third item is entirely different from the other two, So if you have human beings and engineers, so definitely all engineers are human beings. That is why this circle A, which represents engineers, lies within the bigger circle B, which represents human beings. But rats have got nothing common with human beings. That's why it is completely independent of the other two circles, as you can see here. Now let's look at this. If one item belongs to the class of the second and third item is partly related to these two, they can be represented as, for example, if you have females, mothers, and doctors. So as you can see, A is a circle that represents mothers, and all mothers are females. So the circle which is B represents females. But there are some females who could be doctors, and there's some mothers who could be doctors. So that is why the circle C, it intersects, partly with the circle A and B, because it's a possibility. Some mothers could be doctors, some females could be doctors, and they could be male doctors as well. And that's why you have this portion which is independent of the two circles A and B. So this is how you understand the whole concept using this diagram. Let's take another example. If one item belongs to the class of second and third item is partly related to the second, they can be represented as in, so as you can see, you have circle A which represents cows, and then you have circle B which represents grass eating animals. So all the cows are grass eating animals, but there are other grass eating animals also. So that is why A lies within B, and the circle C indicates the flesh eating animal. So there are few animals which eat flesh and grass both. That is why you have some overlapping portion, and there are other flesh eating animals which are only carnivores, so you have this independent portion as well. So that's how you indicate the three terms. That's all about few important concepts in Venn diagram. The upcoming videos will get to know a lot more. Thank you.